I still love that thing. Thank you so much, Ming.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything, no pun intended. Anything to get you fired up to live stream or podcast.
Wow.
Uh, that's, that's what I'm all about. But good to see you, Scott.
You too, and Mike. Nice seeing you again.
You too, Scott.
Yeah, I say before, I figured it'd be fun to get together since once again after a long hiatus, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day again. Even a small release, but at least it's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the triumphant return, but it's the hey, we're still here, and that's important. You know, it's continuity, which as a comic book fiend, continuity is incredibly important.
Yep, you let something go by for too long, everybody forgets about it.
Yeah, exactly. And there are people who are, out there who are saying, well, maybe I don't need comic books. Well, we're here to say that, yeah, if you're a comic book fan, yeah, you still do.
I mean, it was kind of odd this week too, because we've been getting stuff from not a whole lot, but DC decided to go through a different distributor other than Diamond. And then lo and behold, it turns out it's two big comic shops. They're actually the distributors.
Yep.
And I just figured, I'll be honestly, with all the crazy stuff, and I saw the arguments online about people saying, oh, well, since this one's going to be released first, but the other one's not, which one's going to be considered a first printing and everything else. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to get enough to fill subscribers, but because I'll get those through my normal revenue or avenue of Diamond, but I figured I'd give it a few to just give it a shot.
And how'd you find that? Because we didn't go that route. We stayed with Diamond.
I mean, I did too. Like my main order is for even through the DC stuff is still all through Diamond. So like I said, it's got a few issues here and there, mainly because a lot of the stuff that was coming out was just reprints. But it was different. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I haven't found a way. Like if something got shorted to get that in, I wasn't as concerned as most. Probably like maybe even y'all, because y'all are a lot closer to. I think it was a mile high as UCS, which is one of them. But I can understand about the competition, seeing your orders and making sure you got everything else. Make sure you get the best quality books and them not keep it all for themselves. I kind of read a lot of stuff online. I just do find it odd that DC would use a shop that's competing with every other shop in the world to do their distribution.
Yeah, but they're the ones with they've got the infrastructure to send out numbers. But by the same token, you're absolutely right. It's it's like back in the Wild West days of like Toys R Us and Target getting Marvel Legends and the Star Wars and the short pack boxes, and the people who were stocking the shelves at Toys R Us and Target and Walmart, they were hiding. And I know this for a fact because I actually worked at a Target. And people would hide the desirable stuff and then go in later on after their shift was over and buy this stuff. So they're
still doing it. Even to this day. I mean, with the pop figures and everything else, and even though I said Marvel Legends, stuff like I had a guy here, he's all upset. He's a huge Marvel Legends collector, and he can't find one little figure, but as soon as he walks in Target, the guy told him, well, if you're looking for this one, don't worry about it. I've got a ball back in the back for when I get off work.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, well, you got to grease some skids right there to get those hard to find figures. And it's like, we would look for chase figures. And I mean, I didn't get a job at Target to, I wasn't sent undercover by Walt Flanagan to grab the hard to find Marvel Legends. But, although now that I think about it, damn, I should have done that.
You should have. Like, why? I it's no reason why you wouldn't have. And if you want to read a great kind of parody on the ridiculousness of all this, I think it's the Clerks Holiday Special, the comic book that Kevin wrote a number of years ago. There's a storyline in there about that and the dude hijacking a whole truck and selling it out of the truck over at the stash, and it's like it's a whole thing. How long do you think this is gonna last? What are the companies called? UCS, and what's the other?
That's one of them. I don't remember the name of the other one off the top of my head, but I mean, honestly, I don't see it lasting too long because, I mean, as much as we all have issues with diamond and shortages and damages and everything else, I mean, let's be honest, they really do. They work on volume because the profit margin is so minimal on these things, once on their end, especially. So you have to move a large volume. And if it's just DC, I mean, granted, DC does put out a decent amount of books, but I don't see how they can actually maintain profitability with just carrying one line of books.
I don't see that either, Scott. And to be honest with you, Diamond, yes, there have been times when we got shorted, but they've always made good. That's the one thing that I love about Diamond is they always make good on, you know, what they're doing. They've drop ship stuff for us. They've got stuff to us like overnighted. So, you know, stuff that they're like, oh, our bad, you know, we've you know, messed up on your order, so let us get it back to you. I have no problem with Diamond. I've never had a problem with Diamond.
I've even had one person, one of our person reps up there actually went so far as when we got shorted and they couldn't get replacements on something, she actually called around to her other accounts to find out if they had some left over and was able to get us our complete order from about 3 different stores that ended up shipping them directly to us, which Diamond actually paid for.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of people out there do have issues with Diamond. I'm not one of them. You know, and I'm not a company guy because, you know, I have no stock in Diamond, but, you know, we've met Steve Jeppy and they run a tight ship. And like I said, if they make a mistake, they make up for it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the only thing most of the time I've ever had problems that really wasn't with Diamond was with UPS or FedEx or whatever doing something with the boxes and tearing them to crap and everything else. So
yeah, pulling an Ace Ventura, kicking them down the street.
I had a box in probably about 2 weeks before all this went down, and it looked like it had been sitting in a mud puddle. I mean, even the entire box was warped, from water warped. Then over half the box, it looked like they had spilled. Well, not look like they had to have spilled ink all over the box. Because over half the box had ink soaked in, not just through the outer box. One of the bigger ones had the 2 boxes on the inside. The inner box had soaked through enough where ink was on the inner boxes. And I'm not talking, I wish I had the pictures. I kept them. I'm not talking like a couple of drops. I'm talking
soaked.
About 2/3 of that the big box was there. You could even read the Diamond logo or anything. It was just completely ink.
Yeah. Do they have ink at the UPS hub that they're like, hey, give that one a dunk?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's pretty much looked like it was like they were dipping stuff for cars or something.
Yeah. Or why do they like the ink pot, the old ink pots? Like, why do they have those over at UPS? And yeah, I mean, for anyone who's been to a comic book shop, we're familiar with them. The Diamond boxes, like you could kill somebody with those boxes. They're so sturdy.
You could actually in those, like mutilate somebody, throw them in one of those boxes. No drippage. So
the new ones are even better. Those things are like, I mean, you can't do anything to those. So like I said, you could play football with them and they'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then said UPS is run by Judge Doom, so that's part of it.
I mean, I think the story that I love, and you know, not to blow Diamond anymore, but I'm going to because I love them. We love them. But I remember one day, Scott, I guess it would have been about 3 years ago. We get a certificate. We get a thing in the mail, the certificate, and inside was like, "Hey, congratulations on 20 years, Diamond Comics." And we were like, we had forgotten that we've been in business for 20 years. Had they not sent that, we may have totally forgotten. It just it wasn't really anything that the stash celebrated. But I remember sending that photo over to Kevin, and he's like, "Holy crap, he forgot too." And I remember him tweeting the photo. He was like, "Hey, thanks, Diamond, for like, you know, they didn't have to do that." But the fact that they even had that in their database and that they had sent that over to us, which was I thought was pretty cool move. I don't know if they sent anything for like the 10th anniversary or, you know, if we're going to get anything in 2 years to celebrate 25. But I thought
they always keep track of that stuff. I'm telling you, because I mean, I've been doing retail part for I guess about 27 years now. with only, I mean, having the shop, I've always been partners with somebody or whatever. So I finally decided, I want to do the things I want to do them and the way I want to do them, and opened this one, I guess, 17 years ago. But even moving over to my account back then, normally when you start up a new account, it could take, 3 or 4 months before you start getting new product in. The same lady who helped me, I mean, she went through, I've been dealing with her for quite a few years before. Actually went through, helped me get my application, fast tracked through, and we had new books. By the time I turned my application in to the time we got new books, it wasn't even 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I said a lot of people have had problems, and and we're all gonna have issues. I said with different things, but you're right though. As far as Diamond goes, I can't really complain because they have gone out of their way to help out.
Yeah, and if you're able to go into your local shop like Scott's is open. You can go in there. Open 11 to 6 today. I imagine. On the side of the box, did you get the sticker on there? Our comeback will be bigger than.
Oh yes. I got my shirt on the way. I haven't gotten it yet. Supposedly it's been in the mail for a while, so Lord knows where it's at.
Yeah, Josh Sheppy, who Steve Sheppy's son, but he runs a lot of stuff over at Diamond, came up with the idea to make it an event, the whole the comeback, where
Great idea.
Yeah, where I think I kind of screwed it up. We got shirts, and obviously they wanted us to promote the comeback. We were supposed to tag 5 people and challenge them to do the same thing. Which Scott, I just challenged you. So when you get your shirt,
I'm also challenging you.
All right, well, cool. Well, I'll make sure whenever I get my stuff in, we'll definitely be doing something with it as well.
Yeah, but I think every Diamond box had a sticker on it. They had a letter in there from Steve Sheppy saying, "Hey, nothing's going to keep us down. That the industry will come back even stronger after this." And it was, and I saw Steve was over at his local shop yesterday supporting them as well. So it's he's not the guy sitting back in an ivory tower smoking a cigar. Like he's out there. He's out there with everybody else. And
he's in the trenches, Ming. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, he is. And we should get him on here at some point. He's got a pretty interesting story where he started out as a mail carrier.
He's got
oh wow,
and he also, if you look at some of the old stuff.
And I might have lost Mike's Wi-Fi. Look at he's going to the bathroom. We almost got a glimpse of the bathroom at the stash.
There you go. Here, while we're doing that, there's our comeback will be bigger than our setback, and hashtag comeback, hashtag. So yeah.
Awesome. What I really loved about that is actually the logo. The logo is a takeoff.
Comics Code Authority thing.
Code Authority, yeah, for sure. And I think there's a little bit of the old Marvel value stamp in there as well.
Yeah, let's see. Actually, I thought I downloaded a better picture. Hold on, while we're talking about it, let me see if I can find even a better picture of it that'll help out. Back the comeback. That is the
comeback.com. You can go and you get a T-shirt with that logo on it.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, that's the hashtag for everything. Yeah, Mike, here we go. This one will probably look a little bit better. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, it's like I said, all the money goes towards like helping out shops and stuff like that too from the shirts, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think in July, Steve literally donated, I think, $50,000 of his own vintage collectibles, and they're going to auction them off, and all the money's going to go to charities that support retailers. So
I was looking so forward to. We went to the museum whenever I was up there for one of the retailer cons.
Yeah,
and for Baltimore, but I remember that was my big thing. I was looking forward to going to the museum. It was really crazy to look at, but the comic section, I was almost a little disappointed. I was expecting to see all this crazy great Golden Age stuff, and he did. He has some good stuff, but as I'm going through and looking at all these CGC books up in his case, I'm like, got it, had it, okay. got it.
Sorry, guys. I was actually looking out for my UPS guy.
So y'all don't get your stuff on? You just waiting on reorders on something?
Yeah, is there more stuff coming?
Well, I have, and this is a Diamond thing. They tried to, and it's not Diamond's fault. It's UPS. UPS stopped delivering to us. They're like, downtown Red Bank's
Oh, jeez.
closed. We're not going to deliver anything.
Oh,
And
crap.
we weren't getting anything. So they took our shipment back.
What?
Yeah, I was here, and they took the shipment back. And they said they tried to deliver it at like 5:50 in the morning. I'm like, you guys are so, number one, you're full of crap. And number two, nobody's there at 5:50 in the morning.
No business is there at 5:50 in the morning. What the hell?
No, none. I don't
Well, it's like even now.
open.
Yeah, we get our stuff on Tuesdays. Yeah, before I had, and of course now, what was it? I mean, speaking of that too, what with the whole UCS thing or the other distributors, DC books are allowed to be new release on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, well, through them, not through Diamond though.
Oh, I thought I saw it on Diamond's thing that you can actually.
No, I think they said it's not for sale. I don't know.
Actually,
The
look,
rules
I think.
God, I'm going.
I think I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw a release yesterday, or one of the things on the Diamond site saying that that new release date will be Tuesday for any DC books. I think they're following in line since DC's allowing the other company to do it. They're allowing DC's out on Tuesday, but we're closed on Tuesdays. I do that on purpose just to allow us to get the books in and pull for subscribers and everything else. So it really didn't mean a hill of beans for me.
So does that mean? So you're saying you can put out those books on Tuesday too? Then
Just the DC books.
So that reminds me of the story where I think Diamond did send in secret shoppers to see if the stash broke Street Date, and if you know Walt Flanagan, he's a stickler for Street Date, especially after this happened. After we found out that they were sending people in to make sure that they didn't break it, and there's. What was the story? Like they sent a guy in, right? And he was like, "Oh, come on, man! Like, can't you be cool about that?"
Not one. This has happened. Oh my God! Like 15 times over the past like 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, that's nuts. And
yeah, what they do is if you're part of that early release program, you pay, I think it's $4 or something like that.
Yeah,
and that actually goes to paying the secret shoppers that come in and do all that stuff.
Which
We've had
is
quite a few of them coming here.
I'm not breaking Street Date.
No. But you'd be surprised. We actually had one of the shops here, it wasn't local, but I'd say within an hour away. A guy came in wanting to buy some stuff, and he was one of their secret shoppers. Well, he actually went so far as like, look, so and so sold them to me, and he showed me the receipt.
Right.
And well, sure enough, they got their early release stuff, their permit or whatever pulled. So, and then I've had people competing stores, which I don't even see them as competing, so I don't understand it because they're gaming stores that happen to carry comics.
Right.
And but that's not even their main source of income.
Yeah,
and they reported me for so many stupid things. I mean, it's insane, but I've yet to be convicted of anything.
Nor should you be, Scott. Nor should you be.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I've had eBay auctions pulled because they felt I was doing something wrong, and I've had to appeal so many different things for online stuff. It's insane.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Don't get us started about eBay.
Well, it's crazy because people get so petty with it. I mean, I find myself, I work with every one of the shops around here. The ones in Mobile. If there's one I don't work with, it has nothing to do with it being a comic shop. It's just the guy who owned it was an asshat. But other than that,
well, assholes in the asshole comic book retailers, you don't say.
I'll tell you what opened my eyes was. I went to the retailer con up there in Baltimore. I've only been to one. I keep saying I'm going to go back to another one, but I'm trying to figure out how I can put this delicately, but almost everybody there, with the exception of a handful, were exactly what you would think a comic book retailer would be. It's every stereotype, every crazy. I mean, I saw a fist fight between two of them.
Really?
By fist fight, I won't name any names of who it was, but by fist fight, he threw a punch at the guy, barely clipped him, and then took off running down the hall and hid in his room. Like nobody knew who he was, for one, because he's there. He's actually a major retailer who happens to own a show up in your area, a little bit south of you, and went and hid in his room because the other guy called the cops on him. So yeah,
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I wish I could have been there for that. It was literally like, and then he just took off.
I'm telling you, it was the worst MMA bout. I mean, it was like somebody got paid because you could see it miss from a mile away, and he still went down. So, and then I don't know who the other retailer was. He was a scrawny little. Basically, I said you're a stereotype of what you would think a comic shop retailer or owner would be like. But yeah, it was eye opening because a lot of the people I deal with are pretty much down to earth, decent, nice people, and just trying to make a living and feed their family. But then there's other ones who think they are absolutely gods among men because they are, as they consider themselves, a big fish in a very, very small pond.
Right. And yeah, I mean, we never went to any of the Diamond Retailer Summits. I've always wondered what they were like. And from your description, it sounds like 100, like the comic book man from The Simpsons gathered.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you, you will meet a bunch of those.
Okay.
But on the slap side, on the other side, actually I met some very, very good people. There's some people shop from Richmond, Virginia. It was a family of a husband and wife that owned it, older couple. They were absolutely astonishing. I ate with them during the dinners and little breakfasts and stuff. I made sure we all sat together, and they were just some of the nice. I think it was Pack Rat Comics, I think was the name of the shop. Cool. They were the nicest people, just completely, decent human beings. And those was one of the few I enjoyed actually meeting and still stay in contact with. That's
so funny, Scott. It's funny that you're, did you ever see the movie Comic Book Villains?
Oh yes. That's very close. The only thing I can explain it like, I mean, it was like Idiocracy in the comic book world.
Yeah. It's insane. And you do get the people who are like, you know what? We've been here this is our territory. And you get people who are like, let's reach out our hands and try to help other people.
I look at it this way. If you're fool enough to want to get into this business, you're probably going to need all the help you can get.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, but I do suggest if you ever get a chance, and I don't know if it's the same way now or not. Apparently, they do one in Vegas now, and then I was actually going to go to the one in Orlando this year, but COVID kind of took care of that one. But it's fun because, like I said, one, you get to go to all the dinners and everything else, but you get access to all these retail exclusive covers that you can only get at these things. But where you have to get them is you have to show up to their speeches. So usually they'll do their speeches during one of the meals, and then at the end of the thing, that's when as you walk out, they'll hand you your exclusive or whatever.
That's the carrot on the stick. It's like
it's like a timeshare.
Like you got to go to the keynote first, and then you get the exclusive cover.
Clubs. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, the food was really good. I can't lie, so I was good with that part. I think one of the years, the year I was there is when they first started auctioning off Diamond employees too, so they could actually, like some of the higher ups during their charity auction, they finally broke down and you could bid on having one of the Diamond employees come to your shop on Tuesday, help you unpack and load everything, and then work the shop on Wednesdays so they can see what's going on.
That's crazy. What like how much? What were those bids going up to? Was it a hot ticket item?
It wasn't that big of a thing because I'll be honest with you, I don't want them here.
No way.
But yeah, it's I think the first year I want to say it went for about $1,500, something like that.
Okay. So I mean, it's pretty decent money then.
So yeah, but I think what it was, you just had a bunch of angry, like we were talking about earlier, a bunch of angry retailers who absolutely just wanted to show Diamond how bad it really was for them.
I get that. I don't get that.
Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the.
We've been having too much fun talking about other not trashing, but making fun of other retailers, stuff like that.
Well, not making fun, just shedding light on some
truths
that were already known anyway.
Yeah, we when we're back, we should all go to the next one. I would love to meet. I mean, I would love to meet other retailers, but I would love to see what it's like. I've only heard stories.
That's the deal. And actually, the best part was, like I said, they did it before, right around Baltimore Comic Con, and same thing like this last time in Florida, they're doing MegaCon. But one of the things they did was they set up a dealers only room. I can't remember. I think it was after the show, and basically it was quite the opposite of your normal experience at a con. You would go in, or as a retailer, as a customer going in, you would go in, and all the retailers are set up, but they are catering to you. Like I went up to Jeff Smith, and he had some of his stuff there, and I looked at it. I'm like, man, this is really cool. I think it was a book he was coming out with called Razzle at the time.
Yeah,
and yeah, so he had the trade paperback there of it, or the big oversized one. And I was looking, I said, man, oh, this is really cool. He said, would you buy something like this? I'm like, yeah. How much is it? He goes, well, no. I mean, would you order for your store? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I said, but are these for sale? I'd like to get one now. He's like, oh, no, you can take as many as you want. You want me to sign in them? You've been drawing them. And it was like that for every publisher. They were just giving stuff away. I got from Dark Horse, I got this huge oversized slipcase Star Wars hardcover that probably weighed about 40 pounds for this thing. They had the Magic the Gathering people. They were giving away boxes of cards just to take with you.
It was like, you were like, when am I going to wake up from this? This is not.
You found the Willy Wonka golden ticket, and you're like walking through, going, "Well, I want an everlasting gobstopper."
Exactly, dude. It was amazing. Like you would go by. I think the Image booth had a bunch of the Image guys there. So, like Mark Silvestri was there signing like Darkness omnibuses and crap, just giving them away left and right. So.
Yeah, you were like, all right, I'm taking all the stuff. Like, what do I have to do when I leave before I leave?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I made 3 trips down to FedEx downstairs in that little thing. But I was like, all right, let's just ship these back. All right, I'm gonna go back up. We'll ship some more back. All right, I'm going back up.
Right. You were like putting wigs on. You were like, hello. Just like changing your identity.
See, that's what I told Ming this like years ago. And we were talking to a bunch of people who run their own cons, Scott. FedEx and UPS, they should have their own booths.
Oh yeah.
So you can go over and be like, hey, send this to me.
Dude, it wasn't like they were set up at the con. It's just like, I think in the building that was where the whole Baltimore Comic Con, downstairs in that convention center is a FedEx place.
Right.
So it's perfect. But yeah, I think you're right, dude. Having those at a show, shit, they'd make a killing.
It's so weird. Yeah, Mike. Like I've only seen that of all the cons I've been to. I've only seen that done once. It was in Lexington Comic Con one year, and it wasn't really even officially UPS or FedEx. It was one of those like offshoot stores, like the mailboxes, etc.
Stuff like the Pony Express or something.
Yeah.
It was 2 dudes. They had a bunch of boxes and plastic bags, and that's how they tagged everything. And they would offer, I don't know, it was like a $5 or $10 surcharge or whatever, so they made money. But I was like, why isn't? I was like, Mike suggested years ago, why isn't everybody doing this? I don't know.
Dude, it's an amazing idea.
I mean, if I were to guess, I guess they would be worried about. I mean, you know how picky us collectors are too. So if something got dinged or, God forbid, lost, then that would kill all your profits, I guess. Or you can buy insurance or whatever. But
yeah, you already have insurance on the stuff, so yeah, make sure that's a must whenever you do it,
and make sure you pack it well. That's all. I mean, I've worked the mail order side of things for so long that you just make sure that your stuff is packed well. And I'm dealing with that right now with our curated boxes. Just make sure it's packed well.
Mike says you should walk outside and show us what traffic is like this morning. I don't think he wants to go outside anywhere right now.
No, because I'll just if it ain't UPS, I don't care.
Yeah. So for anybody wondering, New Jersey is still, we can't open non-essential businesses still. Retailers are allowed to do curbside, but by the look on Mike's face, it looks like probably not something that they even want to deal with.
Well, one of those things that most of the people are reservists. It's so weird because, I mean, what are we going to do? I'm going to bring it to their car. I'm more than happy to do that, but nobody nobody gets enough comics that it's like, hey, you know, put my 8,000 books out to me.
Yeah, maybe next week or the couple following weeks, whenever you get a little bit larger. Like I said, they're starting off these shipments very, very small. But I would tell you what the other thing was odd too was, I said, with the stuff we got, there was stuff I got from UCS for like 3 weeks ago that actually Diamond's just now shipping now. But like I said, I honestly, I never put any of it out for sale. I just I did a very small order on the things, just kind of kept them here. But you know, it's I don't know. Hopefully, I said they started off super slow, and I think like next week Marvel starts, and then for me it's a bittersweet pill because I mean I'm lucky enough, like I've told everybody many times, you know, I have my other job that I use to pay bills and stuff. This is a love for me is the shop, but the money you make really depends on the product you get in. So basically, depending on your invoice, you know, the larger your invoice, the more potential profit you can actually make. So when you've only got an invoice of you know, a tenth of what it normally is, you're only possible making money. Your profitability is only about a tenth of what it normally is as well.
Right.
Well, I'll let you in on a secret. This past week, half of our invoice was books that Walt and I ordered. So, you know, so we paid for half of the invoice, and that's number one. And number two, I appreciate Diamond and, you know, DC and Marvel not flooding the market right off the bat, because, you know, that's going to keep people away. People who haven't worked in 2 months, they're going to be like, oh my God, you know, you're killing me here. You're literally killing me.
Right.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to people where they have to pick and choose which books they're going to pick up this week.
Right. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
By the way, I just saw this. Colin's asking, are you still doing the boxes? We actually talked about this earlier. No, the boxes ended on Monday.
Yeah, we had to stop on Saturday because we're inundated. We're backlogged by like many boxes, and we're getting them out as fast as we can. And we will restart up, and we're going to do it differently because we just don't have enough Kevin signed merchandise in the place. It's
oddly enough,
but it's true. So what we're going to do is we're going to retool the boxes. You're still going to, and we're going to make like one tier. I think we're going to go with the $50 box where you can get $80 worth of product and not necessarily a Kevin Smith signed anything, but we're going to have Kevin sign 8x10s. So you're going to get 5 comic book men signed 8x10. That's the incentive to get the stuff. That, and you know, you're getting $80 worth of stuff for $50 plus shipping. It's $12 shipping. So
cool. Yeah.
I saw because there was $100 box. I saw the $100 boxes were very popular. It seemed like everybody who did an unboxing or were posting photos, I was like, what tier is that? I was like, oh wow, they went right up to the top, which I was like, wow, good for you. Yeah,
but again, it has to be stuff that the 4 of us actually read and liked. I don't want to give. This isn't a glory hole. It's an actual curated box. This is stuff
that
I read, that Ming read, that even Brian read some comics back in the day, and you know, stuff that Walt and we're finding that we're blowing through backstock, which is funny as hell because we've got stuff that hasn't seen the light of day, but they're great comics, like the new Teen Titans, New Warriors. I mean, stuff that we really dug back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you were to give a ballpark of when they might come back, would you be able to?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Oh, okay. I was expecting longer than that, so that's actually not too bad.
You know what? Like I said, we're working really hard to get these boxes out. We're about 150 back. So,
Mike, you don't want to take pre-orders for upcoming boxes?
I absolutely do not. And up here, I'm hanging right up on you.
Well, if you do want to not order the boxes, but you know, if you want to get hold of the store, if there's something you're looking for, Let me put that down there at the bottom. The information for Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash. But hopefully, I got all the information right on there.
You did. I might not answer the phone, Scott, but yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, yeah. But if there's something you're looking for, you can email. You can get a hold of them. You can shoot them a message on social media, and I'm sure they will get back with you, and they will help you out with whatever you need. But it may not be Mike.
For the same reason, get those things going. You've still got. Hey, Scott, I'm in awe of the stuff you've got behind you. All of your the store variants are beautiful.
Oh yeah. I have a blast with those. I mean, we haven't done a whole lot, but yeah, we're lucky enough to have some locals here who are professional comic writers and artists and everything like that. And I just completely fell in love with doing the idea. Let me grab a few of them so I can show them off real quick.
All right, yeah, look, they're gonna come from the ether. He's reaching in. He's he's stealing them from a shared universe. Get him.
These are two of my favorite ones. We did this one with for the White Widow book that came out. Steve Scott and Barry Gregory Steve did the pencil work and Barry did the colors for it. And this was actually a hot book for quite a while. It still is. I think it's on a couple of the hot lists. And oddly enough, this one is the first printing. And it actually has the smallest print run of any of the variants at all. I think we only had 150 of these done.
Wow.
So, and then we had another one by our friend Jen Broomall that we did with Pensacon a while back. And it's the Baroness from G.I. Joe. And same thing, Barry Gregory did the coloring on it. This is exclusive just for the shop.
As only Jen can do it. And I think you had a couple signed by Larry Hama, I think, right?
Yeah, actually, this one is signed by Larry. I'll say, this one here actually happens to have Jen Drew on here. Sorry, it didn't work well with the green screen, but signed on here. But then we have some signed by Larry, and we have some signed by Larry and Jen.
Larry Hama.
Hama.
How dare you?
Hama. All right, I'm sorry. I feel shame. If you want that, give Scott a ring.
You do not want to get slapped down by Larry Hama. An amazing
guy.
Dude,
I'll tell you what, we had more fun with him. We took him out to some of the war museums, and he was just, he was like a kid in a candy store on some of those things. He's just a super, super nice guy. For somebody of his credit, you expected a little bit of ego out of him, but not a single bit.
No, he is just one of the most down-to-earth guys. And, if you talk to him about his acting career, oh, my God, does he like
I had to go back and look. I was like, yep, there he is in MASH.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's Larry Hama.
Yeah, he came down to the studio not that long ago, and it was pretty cool. It's like, oh man, Larry's here, and he's looking around the studio, and then he makes a beeline, and the thing that he's most interested in was the guitar that we had in there.
Yeah, dude.
The guitar is like, oh, that's cool. All right, hey, I almost want to be like, hey man, do you want it? But it's Mike's guitar, so I was like, Larry, just take it. Mike won't care.
He won't even know what's missing.
He can have mine. We actually had two of them in there, so
I was gonna learn to play that someday.
Yeah, so was I. So that's another story. But
well, I don't know. You better be careful because you might pick up some other stuff because you got something interesting last night. I saw the unboxing for that thing.
Yeah, hang on. It's right here.
Yeah, he ended up staying later than anticipated, and here he was on there.
Yeah, hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a blaster at your side, kid. So, yeah. So, I mean, if even even before all this started, my friend introduced me to I'm a big fan of the movie Blade Runner, and there's a Japanese company that made an exact replica of it with the LED lights and everything. And I've been wanting this thing ever since, but this is $1,000 prop replica, which I was like, whoa, that's cool. And then I thought in my head, it was like $1,000. That's more expensive than a real gun, than most real guns. But this one has so much meaning. Just, I mean, like I got just multiple stories. So I've been slowly kind of just eBaying crap that I don't need.
To save up for that Blade Runner gun.
Right. And, I was getting there, and I mean, and full pun intended, I almost pulled the trigger on it. But About maybe a week or two ago, I was looking because I've been doing whenever I want something that awesome, you got to do research on it. You got to find out like what other people have it. Are there any defects? Is it up to snuff? And
I mean, especially when you're paying that much money.
yeah, and I fell down that rabbit hole, man, where I went. There was this forum that it's a prop replica forum, and these guys are serious about building them, collecting them, buying them, whatever. And I stumbled upon a thing, this website called Todd's Costumes, and I learned there's this dude Todd out in California, and he became obsessed with making the perfect Han Solo DL-44 Blast Tech replica. And I started doing research on there. I hopped on the site. I was like, "Holy crap! This is like the dude sourced the original, like all the parts. If you try to source all the original parts or close to it, like no 3D printing, no, it's just full metal right here. And so this one's about the half the price of the Blade Runner one. I was like, you know what? This one means a lot to me as well.
You sort of sound like Vincent D'Onofrio in Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket. You're getting Looney Tunes there, Ming. Attaboy.
I suppose, but this will go along with the Aliens Pulse rifle that we have that was created by our friend Spat, who was kind of the foremost expert on creating pulse rifle replicas. Like I know nothing. I don't think anything can match this one. Like I think I saw the real one. I'm like the real one doesn't even look this good. So
if you hang it up and if you have it for display in one of the studios, would that be considered a tax write-off now for?
It could be. It definitely could be. It's definitely business related, and who knew? So yeah, I'm now the proud owner of a Blastech DL-44 Han Solo blaster. So and they sell an acrylic base for it, which is on its way, and it'll be in a display case. But as anyone who knows who's been down the studio, like you got to take a photo of everything we have. Just don't break it and don't steal it.
Don't break it. Don't steal it.
Well, that's what I love about having a pop culture type business too. Is like I said, I love collecting original art, but as long as I'm hanging it up on the wall and displaying it and everything else, it's considered a write-off because it's a business expense.
Right. But this thing is crazy. The guys sourced the original scope, and I guess they still
saw that.
So it's pretty crazy. And the hammer goes back. So it's pretty insane, the level of detail. And the level of I know these prop collectors and builders are pretty obsessive. Anyone from Adam Savage on down,
they're very passionate, Ming.
So so anybody who wants to come down and take a photo with this, bar none. This is so I thought about buying a 3D printed replica maybe, or I went on Etsy, started looking around at some of those craftsmen, but I don't think anything can match this one. So and it's heavy too. This thing's like 5 or 6 pounds. So if I were to buy that funny looking belt, that Han Solo belt, I think my pants would be falling off. It's that heavy.
Yeah, you'd have to cinch it up.
So anyways, that's for anyone who wondering what I've been doing during the quarantine, I've been like literally looking at prop weapons. I think guns especially. For some reason, like I really gravitate toward the guns. Everyone,
I agree with you, Mike. Now he's starting to worry me.
Yeah. But they're fake guns. So he's stockpiling fake guns. Make sure you get the fake ammo too there, Ming.
Right.
What good's a fake gun without fake ammo?
Right, exactly. So we've got a couple lightsabers in the studio, and somebody yesterday was like, hey, you should get like the Graflex, the photo handle, an exact replica of that. I was like, that's no fun. The guns are more fun, I think. So anyways, if this is my slow descent into madness, but at least it's making the studio look cool. So
yeah, we got some really cool props in the studio. There's some stuff that's been overlooked. Like we have do you remember Phantasm, Scott?
Oh yes. Yeah. You got one of the balls?
We got the orb from Phantasm.
Oh,
where'd that come from?
My God, I should know the gentleman's name, but I don't. He sent it to the stash, and I showed Kevin when Kevin was here like 4 or 5 years ago, and Kevin's like, "That's awesome." And I don't know if the gentleman wanted to put, his stuff in the dash, because he never got back to me.
I wouldn't mind having one. That was one of my favorite things. That guy, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a while since I've seen it, but that character used to creep the holy crap out of me. Just the way he looked and everything, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, the tall man. His name's Angus Scrim, or was.
Yes. But man, yeah, he was one of those ones that everybody else was afraid of Freddy Krueger and all this. Like, no, this dude's creepy as hell.
Yeah, Michael Berryman, Angus Scrim, and Tony Todd. Yeah.
Yes, Tony Todd. I think Tony's voice, his voice though, is so in this thing. It's like same thing with Kevin Grievo from the Underworld stuff. Once you hear that voice, you always know. You don't even have to look. You know exactly who it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So for anybody wondering, I have not given up on that Blade Runner blaster. I just that's an investment right there though. And if they ever stop making those, I know they'll probably go up in value. So that's how I'm justifying all that.
Sorry, I had to put this comment up. We need more balls in our life. He loves the tall man. Yeah, I don't know. Did y'all see it was released a couple days ago, a little closed video where I guess the government was opening, huh? All right, but they were opening up a tennis court, and you see the video?
I saw that. It was such a weird video. It looked like I guess a mayor or something.
Yeah.
He was explaining the protocol to stay safe from the coronavirus while you're playing tennis.
Yeah,
so
you can
go ahead.
You can only touch your balls. You can't touch other balls. If you have to, you can kick their balls, but you can't pick them up or touch their balls.
Yeah, and make sure that you handle your own balls only and not any.
Wash your hands, for God's sakes.
And just to make sure, you should put an X or monogram your balls so people will know whose are whose.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. They're talking about bringing baseball back, and they're like, "All right, you can bring it back, but no spitting. You can't spit." I'm like, "That's part of the game, man. How do you?"
Everybody must have their own bag of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I don't know. How was your crowd yesterday? I know you've enacted some social distancing measures. Did you put tape on the floor? Like what?
No, I mean honestly, our clientele is a little more. Like I said, I've always said this, but people who enjoy pop culture and comic books and things like that are. I would like to say a little more intelligent, but there's also a few that have proved me wrong. But we just I have a sign on the door that kind of explains the rules about how we're only allowing a certain amount of people in at one time, and that as long as the 6 foot distance is maintained, we make sure everything's wiped down. Quite honestly, though, considering it was such a small week, percentage wise, I guess it was, since this is the first day we've really been kind of open to the public as far as opening the doors.
Yeah.
Considering what we got in and what I was expecting to make, we did actually phenomenal. I probably did about 10 times better than I thought we would have done on that day.
Oh wow, that's great.
I mean, it was. I mean, we had people coming in here who had been away from the industry for a while. Not been away, but been at home.
Sure.
On average, I think everybody that stopped by yesterday spent anywhere between $100 to $125.
Holy crap, that's amazing.
So yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Of course, during this time, with if Mike's been keeping up with that key collector, there's been a lot of stuff that has been added onto it, which we had, and it's just been sitting on our wall because there's been nobody coming in. Well, all that stuff is gone now. That ball and chain series that The Rock said he was going to, they're going to be a part of a movie of. Well, we had a ton of them.
The homage books.
Yes.
Holy
Number
cow.
one's going for about $75 to $100 right now. Yeah, go grab them.
Mike, open those boxes that you threw them into and get them back.
Send back those curated boxes.
But yeah, that 4-issue miniseries, the number one, the old Dragon's Lair, the Don Bluth.
Yep. Yeah.
CrossGen did a comic book based off of it. And I think Ryan Reynolds announced he's going to be in the new Dragon's Lair movie. And that book's going, the number 1, 2, and 3 number 1's going for, I'd say around $75, $80 right now, if not more.
Wow, who thought that a cross-gen book would be $70? Wow.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's so yeah, you might want to go check through some of your back issue bins, and I'll talk with you a little bit later, and I'll give you some list of some stuff that's on that app, or if you want to pull it up. And like same thing, I looked at these things like, this is going for what? And all of that stuff sold yesterday. I think I have one issue of Ball and Chain left.
Stuff for grabs, everybody. Call the store. Scott will ship it to you.
We were lighting cigars with number
Oh
one.
yeah. What else? What's the other one? There was an image book that came out called The Old Guard. It didn't come out that long ago. Right now, that book's going for about 25 to. What's that?
Charlie Theron, right?
Yeah. Right now, that comic's going for about anywhere between 30 to $50. The number one.
Amazing.
Yeah, grab Key Collector, everybody. This is you can stay on top of all this stuff. Books you thought were worthless are not quite worthless. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's kind of the speculator market. Well, it's like that Dr. Afra #3, or sorry, what was it? Some other book. Damn it, I'm trying to remember now.
Darth Vader #3 with the first
Darth Vader #3, yeah, that's going for some silly money right now.
Yeah, that'll go down.
Oh, here's your one. Remember the old back when Dan Fraga joined Rob Liefeld, he had to put a book called Black Flag out.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, those are going for, the preview's going for about $40, and the issue #1 is going for about $60 right now.
Insane. We couldn't give that book.
I still can't.
Do you remember Wildcats versus Aliens back in the day?
Oh yes.
A 25-cent book that nobody wanted it. Chris Sprouse, Warren Ellis, nobody wanted it. And then, boom! Once the authority hit, everybody wanted it.
Yeah, actually, I remember this story. Jamie was saying I remember trying to push The Walking Dead on him. #1, we had a bunch of them in the dollar boxes at one time. Nobody wanted it at the time. Yeah, I probably had about 12 of them in the dollar boxes, and people leaving them back weren't buying them.
Well, we got 10 for the store. I remember that. The Walking Dead #1s, and that's a lot for us.
Oh yeah, for an independent.
Yeah, but Walt was like, I don't want to, because we were caught flat-footed with 30 Days of Night.
Oh yeah.
So we're like, he was like, I'm not getting caught flat-footed again. So let's get 10 of these, and we sold them all. Never ended up in the dollar box, but damn, I wish we'd gotten another like 50.
I think you grabbed one of them, right?
I did. I had one.
I think the ones I've got, I got from Andy Kuhn when he was here. He ended up getting all of his signed by Kirkman. So I've got a run of like 1 through 40, all signed by Kirkman.
Nice.
Yeah. Robert Kirkman, great guy, really nice guy.
Yeah, he's one of the few I've never had a chance to even meet before. But yeah, that's all stuff I've heard. Andy seems to love him like crazy. So, which that's somebody I need to get on here too. Y'all, I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet him. Andy's a super, super nice guy too. He's been doing the turtle stuff for quite a while now.
Cool. No, I've never. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll bring him on one time.
Cool.
All right. Well, we started off early. That's what kind of wanted to catch up with y'all. Y'all got anything else?
I just saw because everyone's asking me about conventions, whether we'll see them this year, and I know that your neighbor to the south has pretty much reopened everything at this point, and I guess they're just waiting to see if there's any kind of fallout or if anybody gets sick. And I mean, so far so good. I don't know if it's the wisest decision, but
I'm guessing you're talking about Tampa.
I am talking about Tampa. Yeah, I saw they're full steam ahead for a con in July, which is only 2 months from now.
That's not.
I'm curious to see who they're actually going to get to appear as guests for one.
They got Paul Bettany.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. So if Paul Bettany is supposed to be there, and he's a huge get.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm just curious to see what their protocols are going to be as far as everything. How are they going to maintain the 6 foot distance? how are the guests? Like I said, I've joked about this for a while. They're going to put like make a zoo out of it where the guests are behind plexiglass and cubicles, and
Yeah,
you
and
get to have a
that you can poke them with.
yeah. But I mean, that's where are they going to when it comes to the photo ops? Is it just going to be a green screen photo op and that type of thing? So I was kind of curious about it all. What the guests will even be willing to partake in.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting a lot of questions about this. I mean, first and foremost, I personally want everyone to be able to attend without fear, without any kind of fear of getting sick, of infection, whatever. And so I think we're going to be a little while off from that. But I just I don't want to go to a con if I have to wear a surgical mask at the very least. What fun is that? And then, more than half the fun is meeting, like picking up merchandise, and meeting people and talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to talk to people behind a mask and not be able to like put my arm around them for a photo. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think we'll get to that point until they have a legit like vaccine that won't melt your brain or anything. So
I don't know. Bleach in. That's what I got to do.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I applaud Tampa Bay for going forward, I guess, and I guess somebody's got to be the first. But if a bunch of people get infected at this con, it's going to kill all the other cons afterwards. So they're just going to set everything back a year or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Somebody's got to be the sacrificial lamb.
It's tough.
And, like that guy in South Korea who went on the pub crawl.
Yeah.
They opened everything up and he infected like 7,000 people.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's really good for the con business.
Yeah, I mean that would shut everything. Of course, I'll be honest with you. I kind of like some of these virtual cons that have been coming out. I know Ming, you've taken part in a few of them too. They've actually brought it to people who normally couldn't even go to cons, and hopefully let people get experience on the things. And I kind of like the idea where I think a lot of them are even offering one-on-one screen time or Zoom or Facebook or whatever with a guest if you want. So
yeah, they've been varying. Like I said, I like it because you can get like entire reunions back together on a Zoom call, which no one has an excuse like, oh, I can't make it, I'm busy this weekend. Or like
I'm taking a dump.
Right. So it's cool. So
put in there with you.
Yeah, exactly. So these weren't part of a cons, but Josh Gad got back together like the Back to the Future cast.
I saw that.
Did a whole Goonies reunion, which I thought was really cool. I moderated one with they reunited most of the cast of Heroes, the TV show, which is cool. All those guys were nuts. Greg Grunberg was definitely the ringleader, like he's always said. But they signed off the Zoom conference by standing up, and they left. None of them were wearing pants. So I was like, man, that's like, somehow Greg coordinated all this. So you had like Jack Coleman and Adrian Pasdar not wearing pants and leaving. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So,
the look on your face was priceless.
I thought he was kidding, and I was like, was I not supposed to wear pants too? I didn't get the memo. So
like, well, you weren't on Heroes, so
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, these virtual cons are great. Ultimately, they have to find a way for the vendors to make money too, as if they were at a convention. That's where one of the bottlenecks is. The one-on-ones have been great, where you can get a Zoom call from whoever. So I've seen the one I did, HomeCon, was doing, I think it was $80, and you get 5-minute private one-on-one with like Michael Rooker or somebody, and I was like, that's cool. 5 minutes is a pretty decent amount of time.
Hey, Michael, take off your pants.
You probably would have done it.
What? No, I'm sorry. That one's scheduled for an hour from now, and no, that's not you.
Right.
That's the $150 package.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is very, like, I've seen other conventions. I won't name any names, but it was like $180, and you got like 2 minutes, like 2 minutes. That. And I saw another one. It was like, okay, you could get 3 people from a cast of a very popular property, and it was like $300 for 2 minutes. I was like, what can you say in 2 minutes that? Like, I can't even say hello in 2 minutes. So I'm like, come on. Make it 5 at least. Make it 5 minutes. Make it something reasonable.
Yeah.
So, and then I think, like they would mail you an autograph, which is totally not personal at all. Like I don't want to mail the autograph. Like maybe if they signed it for you on the call, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
putting it in the envelope and writing your address on it, like that might be a little better, I guess. But
Yeah, but
Yep.
then
That takes 6 minutes.
yeah, right.
exactly.
Yeah, your 6 minutes are up, pal.
Yeah, like well,
You
time's
had a
up.
long
So,
ass address.
yeah, so I mean, it's a way to, it's definitely a way to do it, and it works. But nothing's gonna replace the con experience. So I don't know. Tampa Bay, great luck. I saw MegaCon is supposedly still on in Orlando, but I think they just haven't announced cancellation for insurance reasons. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm down. But that being said, I'm dying to get out there, man. I'm dying to be back.
No,
I
no, Ming Chen, no.
but I don't, I don't really want to take a flight right now. I don't want to meet people wearing a mask. I just
Social butterfly has lost his wings.
I know it's insane.
and
Scott.
yeah, and I'm not standing 6 feet away from someone for a photo. I'm just not. It's not the same thing. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, hopefully things will. I mean, if they ever get that vaccine out, hopefully things will start to. I don't know if anything will ever get back to the way it was before, but at least some semblance of it anyway.
Right. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to that day for sure.
I'm with you, Scott.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all very much, and I'll get back with y'all again next week. I want to make sure we even when things start to open back up, I like to make sure we continue doing stuff like this because this has been over the past few weeks. It kind of rekindled my love for doing all this stuff.
Yeah,
again.
if anything, this kind of came out of it, and I love that you're loving this, and yeah, and it's kind of opened things up for us as well. Where it's not that I refused to do anything like this, I just didn't think the experience would be the same, and it's not bad. And not only that, I think we needed not needed. But I think other people saw, I was like, oh, this will work. I'll totally do a podcast like this. And
Yeah, it opened people's eyes up.
Yeah.
Have to wear pants? I'm in.
Yeah, but you kind of had to get that ingrained. It's like, oh, well, everybody's doing it and it's working out fine. So even when this ends, I think a lot of people will continue podcasting like this, which kind of opens up a whole market for us. Which so if anything, I'm somewhat thankful for that. Even I don't like the circumstances that led up to it, but I love that people are connecting this way and staying sane this way. So
you've opened up your potential like crazy because you got the 2 locations now with multiple studios in each one.
Yeah, but
now you've got an unlimited amount of studios offered to you now.
Yeah, exactly. So and then real quick, I saw you went to the doctor. Your hand is healing, correct?
Yeah, actually, it's not too bad. Hopefully I'll be back to work next week. I've got another doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Then right now it's just the 2nd-degree burns that haven't healed up. So after that,
you're insane, man. You're a badass.
No, it's just, I'll be honest with you, the worst part, I'd almost rather it be hurting like crazy again. It's itching like a son of a bitch right now, and I'd rather have the pain than the itching.
That means it's working, Scott.
Oh yes. The honey is helping.
That means it's working. All right, I'm glad you're out of that big, but whatever that looked like a boxing glove last week. So
yeah, it's actually down. It's just the back side of my hand here. So yeah, it was forehand. I think they were doing a little overkill. It was like the whole thing. I felt like the mummy was starting to grow on me.
Better safe than sorry. So
exactly, Scott. Keep it on. I'll be like your mom. Keep it on.
Oh, let's see.
It means it's working, Scott.
Yeah, I know. I just have to dip it in my honey and be good.
Put some tussin on it.
Put some tussin on it. Put some dirt on it and rub it in. That's what it was when we were a kid. Rub a little dirt on it. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all. And
great seeing you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Bing, thank you. We'll see everybody next time.